This is The Roadmap with Lee Heisman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Roadmap, exclusively here on ASBN.com. I'm Lee Heisman, and every week we bring you some of the brightest entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners who are climbing the ladder, scaling their businesses, and thinking about how one day to exit stage left. Ladies and gentlemen, let me first introduce you to a wonderful man and our guest today, Matthew Hunt. Matthew, thank you so much for joining.
Pleasure to be here.
Guys, he is the founder and president of C2H Air and Electric. I want to get into that business, but I want to talk first about, you just didn't wake up one day, Matt, and say, I'm an owner of a business. You worked somewhere for nearly a decade as an employee, is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Where did you work? What did you do?
So I started as an intern with an air conditioning company right out of college, while I was in college. And the thought process started a long time before that. I mean, even when I was 11 years old, I was cutting grass for my neighbors to make a little bit extra money.
Matthew, so there was, you had worked at another organization. You always had the entrepreneurial spirit with the grass cutting, which was awesome. But there must have been an inflection point, a decade into working at a regular job and realizing, hey, it's time for me to do this on my own. What was that moment?
Well, I think being an entrepreneur is always in your blood, but at some point throughout your career you find ways and things that you might see opportunities to do better in other organizations. And I found that opportunity and had the means to do so. So I decided to leave the nest, as it were. So.
Yeah, so you knew that there was a better way to do HVAC, electrical work. You wanted to put your spin on it.
Correct. Yeah.
So when you started, you had yourself and two other people. It was a total of 3 to start your organization. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, and getting the right team around you is obviously very important.
Who were these other people? How did you know them?
Former colleagues from previous organizations that I had worked at. And,
so how much were you doing? Were you wearing all hats? Were you Bugs Bunny first base, Bugs Bunny second base? Were you doing everything?
Absolutely. Whatever needed to be done was getting done. I was doing it. The other 2 guys were doing it. Just making it, whatever it took to make it happen.
We see, what I've loved about you, Matthew, since I met you is how humble you are, because today your organization is 60 employees strong. And not only have you grown your organization to 60 people servicing all of Atlanta, but you also opened up other divisions in other states. Let's first get into, how the heck do you grow from 3 people to 60 people? How does that happen?
Well, it takes a lot of work, but you've got to get the right team around you. I mean, it starts with a vision, first off. And then getting that right team around you to actually execute that vision. But yeah, I mean, taking it from 3 to 60 is a feat, and doing it in 10 years is even a different feat.
But then the harder feat for me, which I can't wrap my arms on because I've never done this, is when you do it locally and grow from 3 to 60 within your region, you have your hands on it. But if I'm incorrect, you opened up other businesses in different states.
Just recently. So yeah. If you're looking to expand in that way, getting that team around you that can support you and support the company in those areas is important first. Once you feel like, as an entrepreneur, that company is able to sustain itself, and you can maybe take a step away for a second to branch out and start another branch or another area. That's what it takes.
But even in a short amount of time, those divisions that are in Florida, I think, they're already growing exponentially.
Again, it starts with the team. So you find it, and as an entrepreneur, you have to be a quick, a good, but also quick judge of character to identify those people with the right kind of talent to do what you need them to do.
Well, it's magnetism, I've always said, and every time we spend time together, I feel that your character is very high, so I can see where it probably draws others in. But go into something else for most entrepreneurs. You started this yourself in 2013, but just 2 years later, you brought a partner in. So talk to our viewers out there about, was that a good decision, first off? Why would you want to bring a partner in if it's yours? And do you regret anything about it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it depends on the person. Some people are very, very type A and they don't work well with others. Others, work better with a team around them. So I'm better with a team around me. And I also identified that I can tell you that I have strengths in some areas and I don't have strengths in other areas. So I identified where our company was lacking in strength and maybe relationships from a customer base standpoint. And one of the guys that I've worked with in the past, or had worked with in the past, who had a great moral character and a great base of clients, and provided incredible customer service to those clients. Had an opportunity to make a move, and I snatched him up, and brought him in as a partner, as opposed to an employee, to really get him bought in on growing the company and making it what it is today.
Yeah, because this industry, it's really difficult to find high quality people in the blue collar space. And you know, to grow to 60 people and continue to grow is a testament to what you guys have done. Now, take this blue collar space, and I want you to add in a little bit of a white collar piece of technology here. But you created a software to help run your business called AmpLinks. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yep.
So talk about this. When did you create this, and why didn't you just use something out of the box?
So we went through after I started the company, and they had several options for software packages for the HVAC industry at the time, none of which really did everything that I wanted it to do. So I have a technological background a little bit from my college days, and had some people that I could reach out to kind of get some advising on that, and just decided to build my own. Again, identified somewhere there was a hole in the market, and created a solution that was better than what was out there. So
this is a pattern with you, Matthew, I'm noticing, is I worked at a company, I could do things better, let me open up this. I now have this, I'm using software out of the box, I can do things better, let me build this, and you've done so. So how long ago did you open AmpLinks? Did you start this technology firm?
AmpLinks we started in 2020. So, okay. And it's a work in progress still, even to this day, but you're still adding features on a month-to-month basis. So
is your firm the only firm that uses this software?
Currently it is. We have several prospective clients that will be using it here in the next 3 to 6 months.
So these are other HVAC companies and electrical companies that would use this software?
Absolutely. So, and actually one is a landscaping company as well. So It works for anybody in the service space.
Wow, so it's agnostic in terms of the specificity. You can customize it for the industry.
That's correct, yeah. I designed it specifically to be customizable.
So, you know, this journey you've had, and you're still so young, and you know, you've grown your business in such a short amount of time, a little more than a decade. Mm-hmm. What is probably one of the biggest headaches and mistakes you've made that you could share with our audience for entrepreneurs to say, you know, don't step on that landmine over there. This is a mistake that the guy who can do most things better than everybody else, you've had to make some mistakes along the way. Maybe what's one piece of advice you'd give to the viewers out there? Yeah,
don't be afraid to be agile. So when opportunities come your way that maybe aren't your particular cup of tea, but it's something that you could do to expand your business, don't let those opportunities pass you by.
Have you done that?
A couple of times maybe, but for the most part, I have grabbed those opportunities and wrestled them to the ground. And
fair.
Sometimes they've wrestled me to the ground a little bit too. But
if I'm incorrect, your business partner's name is Matt.
Yes.
Which is funny. That's why you're referred to as Matthew.
That's right.
If we were to have him on the program today, and we said, what is the one thing, Matt, that you would change about Matthew? What would he say that is?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. He would probably... Wow. Yeah,
I threw a curveball at you.
That's a tough question. Yeah, he would probably want me to be maybe more communicative.
Okay, fair.
I wouldn't say that I'm not communicative, but yeah, he would probably want me to ask me to be a little bit more open with some of the things that I'm thinking, because I'm always trying to think like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, and
fair.
Sometimes I catch him off guard.
Well, I threw a curveball at you, and I'm looking into the camera. I'm looking at Matt. If you're watching this, Matt, Matthew's doing a hell of a job being communicative today. So I'll say that whatever that is, you're doing a great job today. So how would people, as we wrap this up, how would people get in touch with you? Not just for, number one, to utilize services, whether it be here or Florida. Mm-hmm. Number two, hey, I'm in a service-based industry, plumbing, landscape, HVAC, electrical. I want to use that software, or even just to utilize your knowledge and skill in the business space. How would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is C2H Air or C2H.com for our HVAC and electrical company, and for AmpLinks, it's amplinks.co. check us out online, and we'll be happy to get back with you.
Well, I'll tell you, Matthew, first off, thank you for coming in today.
Yeah,
I know this is
thank
not your cup of tea to do this stuff all the time, but first off, you did wonderful. Number two, wow, pro move. The moment I asked you for the information, you looked right into your camera and gave that information perfectly. So I have to say, pro move. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on the show, Matthew. No question.
Thanks, Lee, for having
Ladies and
me.
gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope the show was insightful for you as it was for me. We hope to see you again next week on another episode of The Roadmap.
Thanks for watching The Roadmap with Lee Heisman.